Women need to start making the first move. If anyone wants to be in a relationship, that's absolutely what has to happen. It just has to happen.
This is the reality that we are now living in. This is the reality that we are now living in. Okay, women are going to great lengths because men are walking away, not getting into relationships, saying, hey, we don't want to be bothered anymore. We're not going to approach. You told us you don't like us. You don't want to have anything to do with us. So now we're going to avoid you. And it's getting so bad that women are now going to have to start approaching men. But here's the thing. What they don't understand is that we don't want to be approached. After women spent all of this time telling men, we don't like you, do not approach us, men only want their peace. So a lot of men, they're either going to see it as a setup or they just don't want to be approached. They've checked out and they've said, hey, if we want to get into a relationship, we'll go overseas and we will find someone overseas and have a relationship with that person.
Men don't approach women anymore. So historically, women have always waited for men to make the first move. Is he going to go in for the kiss? Is he going to hold my hand? But now, whenever I talk to my friends about their dating history, all I hear them talking about is, oh, he hasn't made a move. He's not doing anything. We're not moving forward. So on the flip side of this normally ends up in men feeling like they're getting ghosted, or that there's just being told there's no spark. And from what I'm hearing from a lot of my clients, it's not because that you're not attracted to her. It's more about fearing that you're either going to get rejected, maybe you're going to get turned down, slapped in the face when you go for that first move, or even worse, like getting in trouble with the law. So you need to ask yourself, does this sound like you? The truth is, you probably missed that golden opportunity to create that spark. And she likely was giving you signals that you just didn't quite catch.
A lot of these women have themselves on a 100% pedestal. They think that it's the man's purpose to do everything in the relationship, the man's purpose to court them, the man's purpose to be brave. Even in this climate where so many guys have had their lives absolutely destroyed because of something that a woman said that happened that did not happen, calling him a creep, just for every little thing. All right. And that's not even taking into account the risk that a man takes every time he goes on a date financially and has to pay for these $200, $300, $400 or more dates. Women absolutely don't care. One of the biggest mistakes you can make today is taking advice from a woman on how to date women. All right. These female dating coaches, there's a pattern with a lot of them. I've known quite a few. There's a pattern with them. Many of them, not all, but many of them, if not most of them, are completely single, and yet they're giving men advice on how to get into a relationship with a woman. The moment that a man steps outside of Western society, they go overseas to countries where the women are fit, feminine, and friendly. They quickly realize that they are the prize. The women will compete for these men over there. Physical intimacy is something that you get immediately. A woman uses that as a means of getting her foot in the door, and then she instantly starts creating value afterwards by washing your clothes, giving you a back massage, cleaning up the area around you, creating as much value as she possibly can, because one, she wants to be your woman, and two, she enjoys taking care of a man, because these are women who are raised to be wives and mothers versus women in Western society.
This one's going to ruffle some feathers, but I'm going to be completely honest.
So what I'd like to know, in this dating world for people like over 50, have men just kind of given up with the trying to date and the courting and all that?
The short and sweet answer to your question is yes. Yes, they have. They've given up. They're done. They're walking away.
Is it so bad out there? That you guys have just given up?
No, bad doesn't even begin to cover it. Toxic, we could start with that.
Because, everybody I talk to says they go out on a date, and if the guy's buying dinner, then by the end of the night, he's saying, well, if I buy dinner, then I expect to have sex.
And there it is. Everybody you talk to, my gut feeling is, and I think it's obvious, everybody means women. Not men, women. And you're making assumptions based on what women are telling other women men are thinking, instead of listening to men.
First of all, as if, motherfuckers, that ain't happening.
And there's that toxicity I mentioned earlier. As if. Your assumption is that that's what all men are thinking and wanting. That's not the reality, but that's what you're working from. That's the premise. So why would any man, a good man, ever put himself in that position when the first response you're going to have is as if? Are there cads out there, guys, who would do that? Sure there are, but they are few and far between. But that doesn't matter. What matters is you're going to apply that label to every single man. And then, of course, there's the other side of it. There's women who try and sleep with men on the first date, but we don't talk about them. We label all men, but if you mention even one woman, it's but, it's not us. It's not fair to label all of us like that. It's a huge double standard. And speaking of double standards.
Okay, now if you put on your profile, I am not interested in a relationship, and if I buy you dinner, I would like to have sex at the end of the evening. Hey, good on you.
Seriously, you actually think guys would do that? Some guys might. Not the guys you want, or is it? Because the guys that would do that, they're the ones with the six-figure incomes, the six-pack abs, the 6-inch you-know-what. And they do that because they can, because they know women will respond to that. The average decent guy, the ones you claim you want, the ones you reject out of hand because they don't fit the sixes, they're not going to post something like that because that's not their expectation.
Oh, I love puppies and picnics in the park, and then you take somebody to dinner and you pull that shit. Well, you know what? You're just a dumbass.
And there's the final clue for you. You assume that all guys are like that, so therefore all men are dumbasses. Why would any man want to date someone who thinks that way? Guys,
Women have created an environment that is so toxic that men in Western society will never come back. This is, I've said this many times. I said this years ago, and I will say it again. You're watching now as some women are saying, feminism got us everything that we wanted. Now let's fight it together. But then they still maintain these very toxic behaviors, because ultimately, even though the label feminism may go away, the legacy of feminism will live on. That's something that will never go away. Okay? Western women were raised to be masculine. They were raised with masculine energy. Okay? They have all of that masculine energy, and they've been boasting about it for a very, very long time. I had this one dude in the comments say, you stop calling it masculine energy and call it satanic energy. But when a woman has masculine energy, exudes masculine energy, what it is, it comes across as satanic, because it is not a natural thing for a woman. It's not supposed to be there. A woman is supposed to naturally be within her femininity. That does not make her weak. There are a lot of very feminine women who can do things that are typically associated with men, but they are still feminine. Okay? The way that they dress, the way that they speak, the way that they carry themselves like ladies. Unfortunately, women in Western society know nothing of this, because from the very moment they were little girls, they were shoveled masculinity. They gobbled it up, and that's how they've lived for most of their lives. And then when they get older and suddenly they need a bailout because the government isn't cutting it, now they want men to come and rescue them, the same men that they said they did not want. And let me make this very, very clear. The more money that you have to spend on a woman to date her, the less that she actually likes you. You heard me right. The more money that you have to spend on a woman to date her, the less a woman actually likes you. And if you give a woman enough time, she will tell on herself. A lot of these women, they will tell on themselves eventually, and they will let you know they don't actually like you. They just want you for your money. The less they like you, the more they're going to make you spend.
I wanted to take you on a first date. Would Pizza Hut be okay?
It depends.
What would it depend on?
How much I liked you. It would depend.
So for the guys who you like the least amount, where would you want them to take you?
Like a 5-star steakhouse.
And the guys you like the most, where would you go with them?
I would probably expect less, just because I like them.
But why make the man that you like the least amount invest more up front than the guys who you're more attracted to?
Because he's got to work for it. Since I like him the least amount, he's got to work for it. At least I'm giving him a chance.
You're the prize in a relationship.
Duh. Exactly. Why wouldn't we be?
But the more attractive guy, he's the prize to you.
Not really. They're never a I believe the woman's always the prize. Man should work for a woman.
And what should a woman do for a man?
Oh, that's a good...
See, they are raised so privileged that they believe that everything should be given to them. Even, guys, as things are heading downhill, as we are heading into global crises of different magnitudes, as prices are raising to a point where their groceries are 4 times more than they were 4 years ago, they are still behaving like this, still believing that they are the prize and they should be given everything and anything that they absolutely want. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, consider checking out my newsletter to get my personal thoughts and insights. It's totally free. There's a link to it in the description of the video. Go check it out, subscribe to it, and enjoy the content. I release it once every week. It is lit. And also, don't forget to check out the Angry community over on Locals. You can visit it by going to angrygalaxy.com. It's linked in the description of the video. We have exclusive videos, polls, guides, tons of stuff over there. So go and check that out and join a part of the community. And you can basically talk without being censored. I mean, guys, this is the reality that women have created. And they're going to continue pushing and pushing until there will be no men left. They are the reason why men are going their own way, why men are choosing, why this group of men are choosing to separate themselves from relationships and society. They're the reason why men are walking away from relationships and society in of itself and choosing to stay at home and just chill. They're the reason why 30 million men are currently out of work. They are the reason, and no matter what you say, they don't care, because you're dealing with people who are not emotionally mature. They have not cognitively developed in that way. So trying to rationalize and reason with these people is like trying to reason with a child, a really stuck-up, toxic child that has never been put in their place because society has told them they can do whatever they want and treat the adults however they want. They will never be held accountable for anything, but they will always be able to deflect the responsibility to someone else, because that's the toxic relationship that we have in Western society today with these individuals. They operate as agents of the state, and they are rewarded for reallocating wealth and resources from men back to the state through the family court system, through divorce court, through civil court, through criminal court. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Men are done making the first move. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA. I'm walking away and share.